Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to another edition of The Grind here on Car Mechanic Simulator 18. We have moved up a little bit, as I indicated. I would be grinding away at this sort of by myself, sort of off camera, so that I can sort of get a little bit ahead of things here and get some XP, get some cash and everything built up. So we're at level 9. And we have 3,998 XP out of 4,189, and then we have $17,482 in cash. So if we look here, we can actually do some leveling up here. We've got 2 XP points that we can spend. So we could do successful repair chance raised to 55%. I think this is wise. Instantly examine 3 parts when first time seeking a car order, junkyard auction, etc. We've also got the tablet, which would be cool as well. I think I'm going to go for this one. We're going to unlock the upgrade on that, and then I think I'm going to go with instantly examine 3 parts when first time seeing a card order. I don't recall what that really is as it relates to Car Mechanic Simulator 15. And then we will unlock the tablet later down the road, most likely the next XP point that we get. So we already have a job here. Let's just kind of take a look at what the order of this job is here. It says sloppy car steering, suspension is rattling, loud when accelerating. So we've got a number of things here that we need to replace. And it's all basically been detailed out and provided out for us. So not too big of a challenge it should be for us. Suspension rattling, wheel hub, rear shock absorber A, rear shock absorber cap. So basically we just kind of need to get into this thing here. Nothing to really do under the hood, but we will go ahead and lift the hood up, and then we'll go ahead and raise the car up as well. And we'll go ahead and raise it up one more time, get it on up out of the way here. And since I do know that we're going to be working at the rear of the car, at least first, let's go ahead and come on, let's go ahead and get these rear tires off. Now there have been a number of updates made to the game since I basically released episode number 1, and I think we are on like version 1.1.4 of this wonderful game, and it's still pretty quite cool. I'm quite enjoying everything that the game offers, and of course I'm enjoying some of the differences between the 15 version and the 18 version, and I hope you are as well. Boy, that's a nasty looking brake. Oops. So yeah, just still sort of getting used to so rear shock absorber cap, sway bar, rear end link, wheel hub bearing, rear shock absorber A, rear hub bearing. It's probably, let's pull the drive axle out. And let's see, that was probably it right there. Let's check our inventory of parts. Actually, let's do it like this. We've got a cool feature called the list feature, and we can identify parts, or we can add parts to our list either in the mode of removing the part or adding the part. If you like, I'd already removed it, so if I wanted to identify that part and put it on, my list, I could do that from here. Just right click on it and do parts notes and add to the parts list. All right, so it looks like this is quite also our bad shock here. Now this is another one of those situations where that we need to get into disassemble mode here. This is another one of those situations where I don't always agree with sort of how the game is having us play this particular repair, simply because simply because it appears that only one shock is bad out of the two rears, and I could tell you that while that shock that I removed definitely looked worse for wear from the other one, I still think that, I still think that we would replace both of these at the same time. So let's just kind of bounce out here and look and see suspension rattling, sway bar in link. And by the way, our magic number for this repair is 46%. That is what basically we're looking at here. Loud when accelerating, front exhaust section A, I4B, and a catalytic converter. Let's go ahead and go under and pull those parts. And we know our catalytic converter is up here. Let's see, that's exhaust. That's exhaust. Where are the... Okay, so rear muffler, catalytic converter right there. Back up a little bit. Nope, back up. Come on. Still getting used to these. Still getting used to these controls, and so my apologies. So front exhaust section, was that also what was in front exhaust section A? Okay, so yeah, so we're going to go ahead and add that to our list. Add it to our list, and we're going to go ahead and remove that. Go back into that mode and add the catalytic converter to our list of things. All right, so let's go and order some parts. We have to walk over here to this computer for now until we get our tablet unlocked, but that's not a problem. So go into, actually we need to go into suspension. We'll pull up our shopping list here, and we need a wheel hub bearing. Oops, as I almost spilled my coffee all over my desk. We need one of those for $11. And we're going to need, come on, catalytic converter for $190. And then we're going to need front exhaust for A I4B. Front exhaust. Front exhaust A I4B for $76. All right, nice. Okay, we'll come over here and we'll put these parts back in. Let's see. We needed a few other parts as well, didn't we? Now that I'm thinking about it, we're going to need a rear shock absorber. And we're also going to need this sway bar rear end link. All right, let's put some of this stuff back in the car. Just like that, and just like that. And let's go back over to our computer and we'll order a couple of these other parts here. All right, shopping list. We've got a sway bar, and I almost keep knocking over my coffee when I move my hand back. And then we need a rear shock absorber, A, this guy right there. And I think we needed one more thing that was related to shock, the shock situation, the shock of it all. We'll get that on there first. And I think it was this rear shock absorber cap. So let's go ahead and get it off there. And we will return and put that back on there. We'll add it to our list, and we'll go get the parts. So I will gradually try to improve preventing having to come over to the computer so much. Rear shock absorber cap right there for $61 whole. Wow, that is one expensive piece of kit there. That doesn't do a whole lot, I suppose, but does enough. All right, let's take a look at our. So that's all done. Loud when accelerating. We can go ahead and put these in. We can go ahead and put our, where's our car? We're under the car. And then we'll go ahead and assemble this stuff here. So the catalytic converter, put that guy in there. And then we will add the front exhaust section and conclude that piece of it. Now let's see what else needs to be done. I think that there is some sloppy car steering, so that's outer tie rods, sway bars, inner tie rods. That's all going to be on the front of the vehicle. So let's go ahead and button up the back of the vehicle. And we're almost done. So I am playing around with various different settings in the game itself in sort of an effort to, until they can optimize the game a little bit better, a little bit more fully. I have got some of the settings, the graphic settings and everything turned down quite a bit. So I don't know if that's going to show on the video. To be quite honest, I can see just a little bit of sort of a degradation, if you will, between what I would see if I'm running at, say, high versus medium, or even low for that matter. So right now I'm running on a medium graphics setting, and so we'll just kind of see how that goes for a little while. Okay, so yeah, this is all pretty much a rust bucket under here. And we'll go ahead and pull this outer tie rod out and the inner tie rod. And let's see, was the steering rack going to be required? Steering rack was going to be required. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that we've got to pull this other tire off. And then we've got to come in here and we've got to pull off the outer tire rod on this side. And again, I think this would be one of those situations that we'd probably want to replace everything. We'd want to replace both, you know, outer tie rod, inner tie rod, steering rack, sway bar, front end link A. We got to go after that guy. Sway bar, front end link, front sway bar, front end link A. Sway bar, that's not that one. It's going to be this one on this other side over here, most likely. And yeah, that guy is just nasty with rust. All right, so let's add this to our list, and we'll go get some of these parts. So what I wish that we could actually do is I wish that we could actually sort of order from the list. I wish that you could inner tie rod, we needed an outer tie rod, and we needed one more thing as well. Let's see. I forget now. We need the steering rack. Either order from the list, or I also wish that we could, $760 for that guy. All right, this is going to be hopefully this is going to have a decent payout for us. I would hope so anyways. We'll just spin on around over here, and we'll go into part mount mode, and then we'll just start putting this car back together. I wish that perhaps there was a way that you could create customized orders. So for example, let's say that once we start getting into the auction builds and things of that nature, that basically we could set up a shopping list, a pick list, if you will, that would be based on, say, a V8 engine, and then that way we could just say order all of those parts. Because let's, for example, with a complete restoration, there are going to be things that cannot be repaired, even once we sort of get up to sort of our max money situation. There's going to be certain things that we cannot repair. Things like spark plugs, as an example. Let's see, we've got to go into part mount mode and throw this guy on there. And it would be kind of cool, spark plug wires, piston rods, those kind of things that, again, can't be repaired. We know they can't be repaired. Rubber bushings, all that kind of stuff, where you could basically create a sort of a list, if you will, and say, okay, these are the things that I need to order. And then as you're tearing the car down, then basically you can say, okay, well, I've got those, and in addition to that, I also need this, something like that. So, all right, so we got everything. This is another job well done, hopefully. Hopefully they will agree to that. And $3,324 to do the job. Thank you very much. We appreciate your, let's see, do we have any XP? No, we don't have an XP, but that's okay. So anyway, this episode is going to be a little short. I need to get some other things recorded. I need to do some farm sim videos and some other stuff, and I'm just going to try to bring you 1 or 2 videos of Car Mechanic Simulator a week, the grind series. And then of course, as we get through the grind, we'll also be opening up areas such as the auction house, such as the junkyard finds, such as the barn finds, etc. So more coming on the channel. So appreciate you guys watching, I really do, and hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of each other and yourselves, and I'll see you all down the road. Bye-bye.